Welcome to another show with Drinks with a Dog. Tonight's a bye-week special edition. I'm here with the professor, John Akaki. We've had a few weeks off, which has been fun. Most of that due to my scheduling conflict. John's been ripping ready to go, and I've had to cancel on him, so he's been gracious and patient with me. So we're back here, and we're talking. Like I said, this is bye-week 4, so we're going to talk about some past games, how we feel about the team in general. And then we'll move forward. You can see this today. I'm supporting the adopted brother school of Southern. They have a game this weekend against Arkansas State. My daughter goes there, so I'm going to support them this week on bye week. So
he's lying. He's got a special NIL deal with Georgia Southern.
That's right. Remember, all the stuff is all sponsored by them and all that jazz. Well, we're going to just hop right into it. Once again, we always do. Tonight's show is not sponsored by, but supplied by Bullet. As we want to give this to our favorite friends over there at Ole Miss, a shot to the heart for the Bullet.
Fabulous.
Did it hurt a little bit, but you will survive. So let's just get right to it, John.
Good evening. Glad to be here, and thanks, Matt. We're looking forward to having some fun. I don't know where we're going to take all this, but it's been some time since we've met again, so we're going to go forward. And we've got a lot to talk about. That's a lot of fun. We'll have a lot of results, actually, that are positive. What you got on your topic?
So let's just not bypass the Auburn game. We really didn't talk about it.
Okay.
Let's not completely bypass that game in general. Let's just do some 30,000 foot view of what we remember, what we thought, what we saw, and just kind of takeaways from that game in general.
Well, for me, the first half we were getting dominated. I'm thinking, my gosh, how long is this going to go on? And then we saw it against Ole Miss. But getting back to Auburn, that was a tough swallow right there. We're going down 17-0, except for that goal line so-called fumble, which I believe was a fumble. I've analyzed it pretty well. But that turned the game on a tide, and Auburn couldn't recover. They haven't recovered very well from adversity at all, but the Dogs are resilient. Offered by Nick Saban, several other people. Joe
Joel, I can't
remember his name, but nationally syndicated guy. We're resilient, and it's a great thing about it. But Auburn couldn't compete in the second half with us. We owned them.
And they've struggled a lot this year with just closing out games that they've had. And I said it before the game leading up to that week, that game of how good Auburn's defense really is. They are. They are very good defense.
That's the best part of their team, and that was a great matchup for our offensive line to continue to emerge.
Yeah.
You saw it against Tennessee in the second half when we came out of the locker room. We ran it down there for like 15 plays, 12 or 13 of running. We did the same thing at Auburn. We owned them on the ground. Evidently, that's our identity. We know we're tough to kill now. And the same thing happened this past week against Ole Miss. We just wore them down, and our offensive line, every drive is just pounding. This is a really good offensive line that has caught a lot of grief and maybe okay. They were young. We had 2 freshmen. Freeling got hurt at Notre Dame or before and survived all that. He's probably back, and we got Green now healthy. This team has got some really good things going on. Now, we're carrying the defense. We got to get that fixed.
Yeah, so I mean, let's talk about the defense for a second. I think it's we see a lot of comparisons in the Auburn game and the Ole Miss game when it comes to the defense, where like they are right there in some instances, getting the ball, third and out, getting the ball third down, getting off the field. But like it's just these things of just missing by a second for a sack, or missing a tackle, or blowing a coverage you should not blow. And so it's really been, I think, like they're almost there. And we always keep saying, each week, defense is going to finally show up. We may just need to come to the conclusion that this is what we have. Well, we have a defense that's going to give up 24 points a game with a good offense, and we just need to outscore them. That may just be the case.
I think it's going to change over the rest of the season. I looked at some real film the last couple of days, and our great linebacking crew, which I would not say they're not as great as they once wrote up about, so to speak, but they're still really good. But they're young still, even with a couple seasons under the belt. They're taking really bad footwork steps. You know, I'm watching C.J. Allen many plays stepping up in the hole, and the guys and they want to stop the running quarterback, but they're letting that running back. He doesn't have his footwork in the right place. He's lunging forward. He's over his skis. He's not staying down in his crunches and his hips. Same with Cole. He would take a step backwards to go forward. That's fundamentally not acceptable in football. You've actually made 2 steps, because if you step back and then you got to step forward, you're in the same place where you were to begin with. These are the kind of things these guys are doing. It's on film. They're going to correct it. And when they correct it, you're going to be like, oh my God, where were these guys? And I think they're going to come on strong.
Yeah. And I'm not like a super analyst of football, so don't think this is just some Joe Schmo, some average Joe who watches football. But I mean, one of the things I noticed watching games, because I always watch it and I watch it again. I watch it in my emotions on live, and I watch it with some composure the next day or so. But what I'm noticing is when we have people, when the offense we're playing against has someone in motion, we don't cover motion very well. And so that's how they're able to get on the outside on us. That's how they're able to get wide open receivers or tight ends, because that person goes in motion and we don't cover them like we did in the past. It may be because, I mean, yes, our linebackers, I believe, are good tacklers. I mean, how many times have we seen Raylan Wilson put on a clinic on how to do a form tackle? He can do it.
Well, they didn't have a very good game against Ole Miss in the first half.
I agree with
that. A lot of tackles.
I agree.
The little Chambliss guy runs for the touchdown in the left corner over there. Chris Cole missed the tackle. He had him dead to rights in the backfield, and that was like 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, touchdown. That's happened to C.J. Allen also on another drive. So there's some mistakes being made tackling-wise. Everett missed a bonehead tackle.
Oh, yeah.
That was a 70 or 65-yard touchdown. Big plays. These guys have got to get better fundamentally. And they're good players, and they're going to get better. They don't want to be embarrassed on national TV. Yeah. They don't want bad films for the NFL. They're paying attention. This is their livelihood for most of them.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm thinking. Like, I just think sometimes they're out of step with that motion, but also think, like you're saying, like Cole just missed. It should have been a sack.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if not, it should have been a tackle.
He whiffed.
You know, and he just. I mean, it wasn't even close. So I'm not sure. You just answered my question for me. I don't want to presume what you should do in that situation. If you're in that situation,
you got to break down early.
Do you just go into him, or do you force him inside? Do you force him outside, or which one do you do?
You force him to make the next move rather than you make the first move and the only move.
Okay. This is what we saw. We saw that he made the move and he just duked around it and moved on.
And Chambliss is. I mean, I don't care if it was Ferris State, but that kid is good.
Yeah, he could play. But once again, you see what happened in the fourth quarter, which once again, we watched all of the games, and all of the games we watched where second half comes out and Georgia shuts them down. I mean, second half, was it a quarter 2 and 3 against Tennessee, we shut them down. And against Kentucky, shut them down pretty much the entire game. Besides the touchdown in the fourth quarter in the trash time, we had all the fourth stringers out there. Auburn, no points in the fourth quarter. So I mean, we have those games where we are shutting teams down in the second half, but this time it didn't. They scored 2 more times. But yes, the fourth quarter was 14 yards.
Out of those 5 drives, there are 3 bad plays by C.J., Cole, and Everett, and that's makes those drives look like 5 drives in a row. And we just got to do a little bit better. And on TV the other night when I watched on YouTube, my friend Brooks Austin, I always put a plug on him, because if you're not watching the film guy, you're missing out on some real authentic film study. And we just didn't make plays in the most important time of the game. We didn't make those plays until the second half.
Yeah. And
these guys are going to get better. We're going to put together a good game eventually. You're going to be very surprised. You're going to be like, wow.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Let's hope those solid, complete games come in the playoffs.
Right. You like your team to be emerging all through the season.
I mean, let's look at what happened. I mean, we don't want to say, we're going to copy what happened last year, but Ohio State last year, no one thought much of them last year. They lost 2 games in the regular season. Lost their last game. They looked like they couldn't score against the Blind Academy. and getting beat by 6-6, Michigan, and here comes the playoffs, and they are world beaters all of a sudden.
Right.
So he's catching fire at the right time. I mean, you see it in all kinds of sports. You see it in baseball, you see it in basketball, and even football. Being hot at the right time. And let's be honest, in the past years, when we had the Mark Richt era, he caught fire in the back part of the season. And he was unlucky didn't have the playoff to get in. Because some of those teams we would have had would have been in those championship games if we had the playoff system. Even if it was a 4-team playoff, we would have been there and probably won some championships. So we got a little lucky with the time
we
frame.
started off this conversation with Auburn and the defense and how we responded and all. But, this team is gelling based on how Gunnar gels.
Okay.
And you got to give Mike Bobo a hell of a lot of credit. He is dialing it up. He's put all the naysayers to bed. They're going to probably be like, okay, he's showing me something that I haven't seen. And guess what? I think he's ready to take us down the path of where we need to go. And Gunnar is so gutsy. Oh, my God. He's not a big guy. I mean, we went up there during the spring, and he's not a big guy. He's just so gritty. I'm just amazed at how gritty the guy is.
And even in the game, when he was running for touchdown, you still didn't see him showing out. It's back to work. We got to score again.
And he's always smiling in the interviews. It's like, yeah,
we got to score
we can
again.
get better. This is great.
So yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with you. I'm not saying I'm a Bobo apologist, but for all those who who always chip away and are critical of Bobo's play calling, need to slow down for a little bit.
Our fans are not very patient people.
But even against
we've been spoiled.
Yeah, but even against Auburn, the play calling was fine on offense. They just didn't execute. How many?
Right.
We had drop passes. We had missed blocks. We had things where plays were there. The guys did not execute. I mean, I didn't walk away from that Auburn game and go, man, the offensive play calling was terrible. No, it was like the defense couldn't slow them down, and we had guys missing blocks on the outside, or we had guys not doing their position or dropping this pass, or going through a ball too far or behind somebody. It wasn't the play call wasn't bad. And so we need to assess some of that stuff in realism. He is doing what I think that a below average offensive line coach. But something, I say that, but then at the same time, look what he's done with these youngsters. Look what he's done with them. And so we're going to have all but one guy come back next year.
Half the roster is juniors and sophomores and freshmen.
So, think about how good the offensive line will be next year. You're going to lose Michael Morris, which he is your baller. He is a mauler to the extent he wants to hit somebody. But those guys are going to be good coming back next year.
When's the last time you knew Georgia to start 3 freshmen, defensive tackle, right guard, right tackle? That's never happened 50, 80 years that I know Georgia football. This is not real life. And we've got 3 freshmen, literal freshmen, starting on our varsity, on our team, on our top 5 team in America.
Yeah.
You ain't going to find that very many places. NIL has really watered down how rosters are built and how competitive it is across the board. And today, Kirby's developing a team, and we got to stay behind him because he knows what he is doing.
Yeah. He's going to have a good mix of we're going to keep 85% of our players, but we're going to get about 15% of what we need to fill holes with.
Right.
And if we're being honest, while we're still in defense, I guess we have to go get some pass rushers. These guys are going to have to develop because that seems to be the chink in the armor when it comes to defense, not getting pressure on the quarterback. We can't get to the quarterback with just 4 like we used to. We used to do that.
We're missing that. That's a real big area for us that we're missing. We've only had 1 sack per game on an average. That's pretty poor. We only have 1, maybe 2, but right as that game started, we only had 1 defensive lineman have a sack for the whole season. Come on now. We're really void of that kind of talent. I watch Jordan Davis and I watch Jalen Carter on the Philadelphia Eagles, and they're right in the middle, side by side, starting on the NFL championship team. We don't have those guys. We're not even close to having those guys right now.
So I guess that's my question. Do you think the reason why our defense is better in the second half or third or fourth quarter is because they're able to change out the defensive linemen so often? We're changing out guys on a regular basis, keeping them fresh, while the other team in the offensive line are playing the same 5 guys, maybe 6 guys, and they're getting worn down. And in the third and fourth quarter, they've been beaten up on, and our guys are still fresh.
There's some truth to that. I mean, that's an obvious thing because I believe we're a fourth quarter team and we're conditioned well, possibly the best conditioned team in college football. But the other side of it is we're not playing a tight man, or we're not getting close to a man coverage until the second half, until we have to. And by then, maybe it's good timing because maybe their offensive line is tired and we can get a better pass rush, which complements the man and protects the man. But in the beginning of the game, because of no pass rush, the secondary and it's not called. Kirby would tell you on some of his press conferences in the last 2 days, it's not a soft zone. We're just playing zone, but we're not making the plays and we're not as tight as we should be. But it's a scheme thing. We probably don't have the depth to do what we'd like to do.
So should we be as critical as we are with the defensive coordinator?
No, we should not be critical of anything right now. College football is a grab bag. I mean, you think Texas A&M is going to finish undefeated? You think Georgia Tech's going to finish undefeated?
No.
Maybe yes, but not against us.
Yeah.
But look at the league they're in. Florida State's down. Clemson's down. How would you like to be duking it out with Georgia Tech and Virginia for a championship? That's what they have. Look at the SEC. My God, it's a gauntlet. Still a gauntlet.
So since you've been to the conferences, we'll go back just for a quick second and we'll hop back to Georgia. I posted a question out there the other day on the page. Which conference is better, the ACC or the Big Ten?
I would certainly
Top
say
to bottom.
I would say the Big Ten, just because it's a power football conference, and that's the way football is going. The scores are not as high. We've scored over 40 points, and that's unusual for us. But they grind it out, and they've got good players up there. They got good trench players. Now, if you analyze Penn State's fallen off, lost 4 in a row, is that normal? No. You're bringing in West Coast teams. By the way, Penn State had to go from all the way from Happy Valley all the way across to L.A., get in a hotel, play a game out there, and I'm leaving, which was the ex-Tennessee, beats them down there, and they come back like, what happened here? Well, how would you like to travel as a kid across the whole country, go in unfamiliar surroundings, and just because you're Penn State, you don't win. You got to show up, and that's a long way to travel. And I hate that for that league. I'm hoping we never incorporate teams from the West Coast or places that our teams have to travel these great distances.
Yeah, so I'm on the opposite side, which is fine. Because once again, I post things all the time on our page, so to start conversation. I don't believe my viewpoint is always correct, but sometimes I want different perspectives and different viewpoints. And so I ask questions that are maybe not controversial, but hey, I want your opinion on this. Give me your insight because
He's trying to provoke you.
I'm not provoking. I like conversation.
No, it's good. It's good banter.
I'm a conversationalist, but I want us to make sure we do it with respect to one another as well. So disagree with me, that's perfectly fine. I'm totally down with someone disagreeing with my opinion because I may disagree with yours, which is good because when we get different people's perspective, like right here, I think the ACC is a better conference than the Big Ten, simply because as a whole. So if we look at as a whole, the ACC is not super, has a really bunch of good teams. They have a bunch of solid, 8-4 teams.
Well, you got Miami, you got Virginia, you got Georgia Tech, you got Clemson's not bad. I mean, they're just not
they're
performing.
Average. Yeah, they
got a good roster.
Yeah, they're 7-5, 8-4 team. But then you look at the Big Ten, it is 2 teams, and that's it. Everybody else is trash.
Yeah, Indiana and Ohio State.
And people are like,
I think Oregon's still good.
But you're saying Oregon, but Oregon's best win is against who?
Well,
a 3-4 Penn State team that took double overtime.
And it was early.
So I don't think Oregon. I think Oregon's going to, once again, if you look at their schedules, that's the one thing about Ben 10. They are smart. That commissioner is a smart guy. He has put together schedules that all their teams can get through their schedules pretty skate-free and not be pressured, and so they can get more teams in the playoff. That's their goal, is to get more teams in the playoff. But I think that's eventually going to hurt them, because you look at Ohio State, they literally had to play 2 games this entire year. The third hardest game will be pretty much against Indiana at the championship game. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be Ohio State, Indiana, whichever.
Yeah, they don't play.
Because neither one play each other. Neither one of them are playing any ranked teams the rest of the year. And the teams they played, like Indiana will not play any ranked teams the rest of the year. Because Illinois will not be ranked at the end of the year. Penn State will not be ranked at the end of the year. So they will not play a ranked team the entire year, just like it did last year. And what's going to happen again? They're going to get beat in the playoff. Just how it's going to be. So I'm on the opposite side of that. Once again, I think it's probably, you're talking about 6 of 1, no matter which way you go. But that's just a good conversation topic for me. So I think, so let's talk about Ole Miss game again, right? Play calling offensively was great. Execution was great across the board. Now, were there some throws that were thrown behind players that guys had to make great catches on? Yes. Was going to perfect. That's the thing to me of the game was nobody played perfect. Nobody played absolutely out of their mind. Everyone just did what they're supposed to do to win the game. Gunnar did play a great game, but was he perfect? No. He threw some balls behind guys. Guys made great catches.
Yeah, there are several of those.
Yeah.
You're right about that. He wasn't perfectly accurate, but you hate to see what happened to Colby Young.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, we have lost the stud dudes. We have lost somebody that we're going to have a hard time replacing. Thank God Dylan Bell and Landon Humphreys are playing as well they are now. If Noah Thompson's ready to play ball, maybe that void can be filled a little bit, but that's a big deal right there. We don't know what's going to happen with that.
And I feel more bad about him in general, his being his senior year.
Yeah, Kirby said he's got enough film, he'll be all right. He just got to get well.
Because, dude, the
NFL knows who he is.
You give him a screen pass, and he was just running over jokers. Like, he was,
right.
Your most dependable
he's manned
receiver.
up. He's manned up. He's come to war. He's come to play, and he's ready to go to the NFL, and he wants to make some money. Yeah. You can't blame the kid, and it's sad that it happened to him.
Yeah. So let's win again. Let's win it for all for him. Let's do that right there.
Right.
Also, I'm not sure how long the rehab is for his injury, but
I don't know. I don't know if it's a fracture. A compound versus a fracture is totally different ball game. Compound, you got titanium rods in the bone marrow and all that. A fracture, it may be a cast. It may be a screw. I don't know. No one's publicizing what's happened to him, either surgery or how it's set up. I haven't seen a picture of him on crutches or in a cast.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That'd be great. I'm not saying I need to rush back or anything for us, but because I care more about his future than it is the present. But how cool would it be to get him back in the playoffs in January playing?
Well,
and
I don't know.
It'd be awesome.
He might give you 5-8 snaps, but that may be enough.
It's maybe enough. Yes, we did with Pickens, right? And still won a championship. So
yeah, that was a management issue, wasn't it, with Pickens?
Yeah. So let's talk about receivers. Let's just keep with that topic there.
C.J. Wiley, he's supposed to come on. Maybe it's time for him to show up.
Okay.
Right.
Who else?
And you got Noah Thompson.
Yeah. So Noah Thompson, same thing. Like he had his one big catch in the Auburn game. We're all excited. Hey, maybe it's finally turning the corner. And then here comes in the first half against Auburn. Ole Miss. I'm sorry. And then what's he do? Penalty. He pushes the guy off, and you don't see him again. Right. You never see him again in the game. So I'm not sure. You think that maybe some of the Gunners like, hey, I'm going to trust you with the ball, or you're not going to get the ball?
I don't think he's as good a blocker. That's why he wasn't getting the time. He's probably trying to get stronger. He probably didn't have to do that where he was at Texas A&M.
Maybe.
So I don't know. By now he should be ready to acquiesce and become a Georgia Bulldog. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. So I think, like you said, Tom, Wiley, even White out there is still a good, solid receiver. It's good to see Dylan Bell finally come on again.
He's a stud.
He had a rough first couple games of the season, had a couple drop passes, and we're all, oh my gosh, not again like last year. But he did. He hung in there.
Dylan is very talented.
He is your multi-Swiss Army knife out there.
He has his head on screwed on right. He's as good as it gets.
Yeah, he can do great catches. His big catch he had in the fourth quarter, I mean, that's pass interference. They didn't call it, and he still caught the ball.
He's a George Pickens type. He really is. He's that kind of acrobatic type catcher.
I think he's that good.
Not that good, but he's that kind of type of
Yeah.
player. Maybe not to light up a defense on separation, but he's tough.
He's tough to tackle too because he's a big guy. I mean, he's running back playing wide receiver. Being honest,
Exactly.
and this is a complete. I'm gonna give some kudos to Ole Miss. That catch that guy made was incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what you said. That was I mean, you say it's passing interference you want to. That was an amazing one-handed catch that guy did over two of our players.
That may be one of the better games I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot of Georgia Bulldog games. But I'm telling you what, I left that stadium, and I was in awe of what we had accomplished.
Was the fourth quarter as loud as they said it was?
It was amazing. I had earplugs. I took them in, and I didn't use them till the fourth quarter, but I knew what to expect. And the Red Coat Band people we were behind trying to get to the buses said that's the loudest they've ever heard that stadium. And I would concur. It was loud, loud, loud. And the people were wanting that victory. We had worked so hard for that victory. And things fell together. So there's a little bit of a, how should you say it, magic dust in our team right now. And that doesn't mean we'll go, undefeated the rest of the season, but we got a great team. I really do. That doesn't mean we're going to win them all, but I don't think anybody's going to put us away.
The potential is there for sure.
Oh yeah, the potential is definitely there. I just love going to Sanford Stadium. I don't know if you've never been, you need to go. You've got to buy a ticket. My friend Mark Braswell is a barber on Vineville. I'll put a plug in for him. It's a barber shop. That's actually the way you look it up on Google Maps. But Mark and his wife Tammy made the game, and they bought tickets through Mike Cavacles, which is another ex-Georgia football player, and they got a deal. And it was one of their first games in 15 years. And I'm glad it was for them because, it was such a special setting. If you have never been to a Georgia football game, you've got to go. I don't care what the ticket cost is, you've got to go. And pick a good game, it's worth it.
Yes.
And make it a day. It's a festive environment.
It is, I mean, and for those who've been to a few games for sure, it is a much different atmosphere on a Casper Hooker game versus a real game. Like when we're playing, Missouri State, International, Air Force, whatever, those games are not the same atmosphere as when we play an SEC caliber team. It's a completely different atmosphere. So like John's saying, yes, pick a good game to go to. Don't pick a automatic win game because it's so much better. It's electric in there, and it's like a switch gets turned on. It's a completely different atmosphere.
If you need tickets, you should let me know. I'll put some words out, and that's what we did for Mark and Tammy. And if I don't have many people to bring into the Letterman's Club, I'll bring you in as a novelty, and that's always fun too, to get into the Letterman's Club. It's adorned with memorabilia and pictures of all the teams, and it's just a great setting inside the stadium. And you enter it outside the stadium, and then inside we go on an elevator up to our seats. But it's a special thing. So if you buy tickets, you don't know me, don't be afraid to ask me, hey, John, I'm buying tickets. Do you think we could get in there to the Letterman's Club? I'd be glad to try to take you as long as I don't have too big of an entourage to go in.
I like that. So let's talk about another great piece of the puzzle that came out on last Saturday, the tight ends.
Oh my gosh, and we've been yearning for them, haven't we?
So
I was so happy to see it.
So here's my question, and I'm going to say this because, once again, I'm not a Bobo apologist, but I do appreciate Bobo. I think that he is getting a lot of bad rap over the years, and it's not deserved. But do you think the first few games of the year when we were not seeing them used, was that a setup for this kind of game? Or
No.
watching back and forth, people were just covering the tight ends because they know they'll be able to use them. Because I watched a lot of games where I saw the tight ends were just covered up. The tight ends were super covered
I
up.
think because we had to utilize the youth on the offensive linemen, we needed the expertise of the blocking of the tight ends. So they were the sacrificial lambs to not be seeing the ball as much. And I give kudos for Bobo for knowing how to handle that personnel. And Zachariah Branch, is that I got that right?
Zachariah.
Zachariah Branch, he's caught 17 balls, 9 one game and 8 this last game. You're only completing 24. He's got a third of all the catches. So there's not that many other balls to be caught. And Lawson Lucky had a field day, didn't he? He had a Brock Bowers kind of day. And those were some tough catches. Those were not easy catches. They were in traffic. They were behind his head. And I'm just so happy to see all our players. And my friend Paul Patrisco, Paul's calls on the show that we used to do. Paul said, John, they become a team. And I heard that again also from Joe Klatt. That's the guy, Joe Klatt.
Yes.
And George is a team. It's hard to beat a team. A band of dogs. It's hard to beat them.
That's good. I like the way you put that. That's really good. Yeah. They did have, not just, Lucky had a good receiving game for sure, touchdowns and stuff. Delp had a good game. They tried to get the freshman Williams involved. He got a good pass interference call for
that's
us.
a star right there.
It's all coming. And we got 3 more coming next year, guys. So think about that. They have 3 more recruits coming. We got one, out with the broken leg. He's gonna be, Barbera's gonna be good too as well. So don't take him off your list of being good. But think about that. We're getting 3 in. So the reason why we're getting 3 ins for a reason. We're gonna lose 2.
Kirby said that was a culture win, but believe me, a lot of those kids they don't want to be independent people apart from a team. And I think that's what struggled last year with our quarterback. He was on the team, but the team really wasn't a team.
And
we suffered from that.
And I get what you're saying with that, but I don't want to. I am the mindset of, we looked at all the imperfections we had last year. Beck still played hard for us, and I don't want to discredit.
No doubt about it.
I think he did what he had. Were the drops that he had. Yeah, interceptions were on him. Don't get me wrong, but most drops in the entire country, that's discouraging for a quarterback. Then to see how you're one of the worst rushing teams in the entire SEC, and he was still able to throw for almost 4,000 yards, y'all.
Well, no doubt. He's a very talented ball player. There's no doubt about it. But chemistry is big.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Chemistry is big, big, big.
Totally agree with you.
There's also some magic involved in all this. But when a team has that it factor, like some of our teams have had, and this team's starting to develop that it factor, if the defense could just come up a little bit, this would be a team that you don't want to play. You still don't want to play the Dogs, but this team could really make some really, I don't know. I looked at some of the prognostic, whatever they're saying that might happen in the playoffs. We're probably going to get a home game because I don't know if we're going to get to the SEC championship. Texas A&M and Alabama don't have tough schedules going down the pike as far as us getting in there, which may be a blessing, quite frankly. You don't have to play in the SEC championship game, but you might get a home playoff game.
Yeah, and so I'm kind of on the fence with that. I think Texas A&M is going to lose 2 more games. Just seeing their
That'd be fine with me.
Because we all think that Texas A&M, their defense is so good. They've given up 40-plus points twice this year.
Do you want to play Alabama again twice before we even get to the playoffs?
Yes, I do. I think we can beat Alabama.
All right.
I really believe.
I would agree with that, but
I really think that we can beat Alabama because we watched Alabama, and I'm saying they're not a good team. Alabama's gone in and beaten some solid teams so far this year. They beat us. And I know we say, well, they beat Vanderbilt's still a solid team. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, yeah.
Not a Vanderbilt in the past. They're a solid team. They beat Missouri, solid team. They like really good. No, but they're a solid team. They're a 10-win team, probably, maybe 9-win team for sure. I just think Alabama has been, I don't want to call it lucky, but they have been blessed with capitalizing on other teams' mistakes.
They're getting good just like we are.
Which is part of it, right? They have capitalized on, when they played us, they got a fumble in the red zone. They capitalized on that. They capitalized that we dropped the ball for a touchdown. They had those things. Same thing with Missouri, with Vanderbilt. They had two touchdowns, not two touchdowns, so 2 interceptions against Javier. They got was it a fumble or interception in the red zone? They got the ball back. Instead of them scoring, they got the ball back. And so something happened in Missouri. They were able to just escape out with teams not scoring when they should have scored on them. So I don't think their team is like championship.
Missouri's a good football team, by the way, and
So-
they're probably going to beat Ole Miss this weekend.
And so I just really think that Alabama's very beatable. They've played tough games and they've grinded those games out, but it's hard to beat a team twice. I don't think they beat us twice.
I don't know how we did it against Texas, but we did.
Yeah. So that's a future game coming up too. That'll be a fun game to go to as well. So you can enjoy that. I just so let's talk about some games this week we got going on. I can't remember all of them, but you mentioned once we had Texas A&M and LSU, right? Is that correct? Doesn't Texas A&M go to LSU this week?
I believe so.
So that's going to be a game that I think is going to be up for grabs. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's that night at LSU.
Wait a minute, I may have that wrong. I may have Ole Miss going to Oklahoma. Is that right?
That's right. You're
Ole
right. There.
Miss is at
There you go.
Oklahoma. That still could be an upset.
We got a recovering memory. But yes, I'm LSU at home at night with Texas A&M coming in. LSU's defense is better. Offense is struggling, which we didn't think was going to be a big deal. I'm not a Brian Kelly fan, but that could be a loss for Texas A&M. Like I said, Oklahoma, they're not scoring any points right now.
Oklahoma, Ole Miss in Sooner Land.
So
Norman.
it's just crazy because I look at Ole Miss's schedule. They only play 4 away games this entire year.
We may have to quit doing these kind of shows because Vandy's got College Game Day coming wherever they're at. I mean, what do we know about college football anymore?
That's right. Who is Vandy? I don't know if you're, but who Vandy?
I don't even know who they're playing, but they got college. They got Herb Street and whatever.
Oh man,
That's funny. I think they're against Missouri. No, who are they against? Missouri?
maybe Missouri. You may be right.
That might be how it is.
I forget. So sorry, I didn't prep this section of the show. It was not in my notes.
And are we on a collision course with Georgia Tech? I mean, they got Syracuse this week.
Dude, it'd be awesome to be
Wouldn't that be something?
to be undefeated Tech, so 11-0 Tech, and 10-1 Georgia, playing the day after Thanksgiving. I think
Black Friday.
both teams would be like, you know something? We're both in the playoffs. I mean,
That's right. Exactly. That would be
that could
exactly.
be it. Unless Tech, no way that would not be in the playoffs.
They'd have to lose a couple.
They have to lose against us on Black Friday, and then
Absolutely.
lose the conference championship game. That would be where they would be out of the playoff most likely. But that team was again, they're a tough team, but you never know on rivalry games. That's why the Florida game is going to be a fun one. People are thinking, oh, it's no big deal. Florida's down, the coach is gone. How many of these teams? This is for a show for next week, but think about how many teams have so far have fired their head coaches and played better after firing their head coaches.
Yeah.
Because maybe the head coach was the problem, really.
Yeah.
And the people.
Breath of fresh air.
Yep. And people who use their own ideas and the other ideas, the ones that actually work.
UCLA is one right now since they got
Yep.
the interim coach. And in fact, somebody's going to go out to play UCLA that's going to be vulnerable. And I forget who that is. But it's a big game. And UCLA's got an opportunity to really turn college football upside down. I forget who they're playing, but they're playing somebody.
Some from the East Coast going on the West Coast again.
Oh, my gosh. So, you know,
It's no different than ACC with Cal playing in ACC.
I
The
know.
Atlantic Coast Conference, someone from the West Coast.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's so stupid. I mean, that Washington and Oregon and Stanford and all these teams got to come east. That's crazy. That's so ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
And then Washington State has no friends. And
Oregon State,
and
too.
Washington State,
Yeah,
right?
in Oregon State, both of them.
And Oregon
by
State.
themselves in the Pac-2.
So the Beavers and I forget what the Washington State
Is
is.
it Cats or something? Wildcats?
I don't know.
It's something. Who knows?
I'd like to be a beaver without a pond.
All right, so not really getting predictions or anything. But that's just kind of the good recap of the last couple of games. Look forward to talking to you next week, John, about the Florida game.
Yeah, we'll talk about Lagway and who we're going to get there, and another running quarterback. And Florida's got some, new energy. And are they off this week?
They're off too. They're off.
Oh my gosh! So they got a new coach. I forget his name, Gonzalez or something.
No.
But
I don't
anyway,
know.
the Gators are always going to get up for the Dogs. And
Yep.
what are you going to do this weekend?
This weekend, I'm probably going to be watching football from the hunting stand. So that would be.
He's a hunter.
That'd be the premise. It would be
Oh my
me
gosh.
with my earbuds in, watching football and looking up.
And I guess what I'm going to do, something that I normally don't do, I got bought tickets to go to ATL Rumors, the remix or re-tribute band for Fleetwood Mac at the Capitol.
Oh, nice.
Here in Macon Saturday night. So it'll be La Bella Morella. If you have not been to La Bella Morella on Mulberry, Herman and Marco and the family there, Yari and the whole family, you need to go there. That's some authentic
It's good.
Mexican food. So we don't have sponsors, but we put a plug in for people we love. And,
That's right.
So I got a little Fleetwood Mac. That's my era. But this show is always fun here doing this. Matt and his wife have gotten this place looking beautiful over here. We're in a corner, but you can't see all his deer heads and all this and all the antlers. And this is really special up here. He's done a little bit of a rework up here. And, I just want to thank everybody for being our friends and family. And, on our little MGM, Middle Georgia Dog Pound, let's get along, make sure we're not condescending. We're not trying to put a rivet in somebody. People have different opinions. So what? If you're going to be real obstinate about your position, come back with some documentation, not just hyperbole, just innuendo. That doesn't work. But I just want to tell you something. We got a great thing going here. Georgia football is really a beautiful place to have some fun and bring your family and enjoy yourselves.
That's right. Memories. You always know where you were when this happened.
Yeah.
I'll always remember where I was when Keely Ringo caught that pass. I will know who was in the room. I'll know where I was and what I was wearing. And that was all with my family. So think about that. Friends and family is what brings us together.
One last thing. We went to play Clemson 4 years ago. No one knew who Brock Bowers was. No one knew who Todd Monken was. And all that happened. Now we're in another chapter. Turn your pages. Get ready for this chapter because it's unfolding right before your eyes and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a flurry to the finish and just keep praying and pulling for the dogs. Go Dogs.
Good.